Let's start with the wereback, which I gotta admit, your movie pisses me off.
Well, my name is John Estrada. I'm one of the Estrada brothers. It's a great thrill and honor to be here. This is really our first real world premiere, so to speak, or our Southern California premiere. So thanks for being here. The Wereback is an idea that just says, let's take something fun like a werewolf. We love werewolves. We're big horror fans. Let's have some fun. Let's change the color around. Let's turn the mythology upside down and play with it. The origin of this was simply, this was going to be part of a teaser for a digital series. We thought, hey, listen, I thought, hey, we have something here. Let's try to put an ending on it and let's figure out what it was. At the same time, we obviously wanted to have the controversy and push the little buttons and say, somewhere on the border, there's a MAGA guy, there's a militiaman, or there's someone with a very specific point of view and intention, and she crosses paths. And yeah, I think probably what would have happened is, because she comes back to life because you can't kill her, they can't kill her, she would have probably thrashed that guy. I mean, those are the kinds of movies we like. That's why I think horror is such a great genre, because you can get the subtext, you can push the buttons, and still ultimately deliver a story that is provocative.
My name is Laz. I'm the director of No Wall. This is Craig Blair. He's one of our producers. No Wall was written by someone named Phil DeSante. We wanted to find something that was going to be an interesting piece that told a powerful story. The true underlining factor that we really loved was the fact that Nagual was a character that came from someone that eats the sins of others.
Well, I think the character is, as being a sin eater would be someone that comes in and kind of justifies or makes right the wrongs of these two criminals and what they've just done. They just wreaked havoc into a town and killed a bunch of innocent people to steal gold. You know, it's kind of, they get their comeuppance, and she's kind of that character that brings that to the story.
I'd like to introduce the director, writer, creator, many hats wearer of the film you just witnessed, Jane Schonbrun. Thank you so much for being here.
Some of my earliest goals for the film, I was certainly reflecting on my experiences as a teenager, sort of experimenting with myself and with identity online. And the film is also, I made it pretty early on in my gender transition, which now is a little further along, but still, that takes years and it's still pretty early. This film was trying to sort of put feelings onto the screen that I didn't, when I started working on it, I didn't really have language for, and I think that's why it feels sort of raw. It's a very tender film. I describe it as a very gentle film, but I think especially as it's starting and you're trying to figure out the ambivalence of what this film is and what you're watching. And when Alex's beautiful music comes in very early on in the film for the credits, the opening credits, to me that's such an important moment, and this balance that I think his score gives the film, which is just such an important ingredient in the soup of the overall soup that I'm cooking for y'all. Just adding something that's a little tender, a little emo, a little gentle onto this sort of darker tones and vibes of the movie.